Okay, so here we have my 2005 YFZ450. Has a lot done to it. Nerf bars, oversized radiator, coolant lines, and stuff like that. HMF exhaust. And the issue we're having now is the starter. So basically the starter will go good, and it'll stall for a second, then start going again, and it's just very inconsistent. So hopefully it's going to be the starter, but we're going to go ahead and check that out today. So one important thing to note, whenever I bought this, it was $1,500 and it needed some work done to it, but here is what it does. So your solenoid clicks. If power goes into the light, keys on. So and it just keeps doing that consistently, where it goes good and then it stops for a second, stalls, and then goes again, and it's just not running the way it should. So today we're going to be replacing that starter. I recently replaced this starter with a OEM one, I believe. It came from a parts for-wheeler, but after installing it and trying it out, it just seems like it's not working good. So I went ahead and picked up a new one. It's one of those cheap eBay ones, so we're gonna see if that works or not. So let's find out. All right, so since I just recently filled it up with new oil, I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse it. But to change the oil on these, basically, you gotta take the skid plate off if it has one, and this bolt right underneath the neutral switch, little neutral safety switch or whatever it is, that will be your drain bolt. You can really see it there. That bolt right there. So we're gonna go ahead and drain the oil and just fill it up in that little coffee container so we can reuse it. All right, so with the new oil that I just put in it, back out of it, and the skid plate back on and the drain bolt tightened back up, we're ready to take the case off. So let's get to that. So one of the very first things you want to do with these YFZs when you're taking apart the case is take off this breather hose. It just connects right there. Really easy to take off, not hard at all. And then you're gonna have two bolts here. Looks like someone put a new bolt there, but essentially all of these bolts here should be 8mm on the side case. Okay, so now you have your case off, you should be able to see everything. So this starter here, the first thing that you need to do is take off that ground cable on it way back there. And then there should be, I believe, two or three bolts on the other side that are holding in. Okay, so there's just two bolts that hold in the starter. Just that one and that one there. They're a little bit tricky to get to, but I've noticed if you use like a swivel socket and extension, it's fairly easy. All right, so with the starter out, which is probably one of the hardest parts of this whole thing, is getting that out. We have the old one here, and yeah, it looks like your typical starter, and then it's the cheap eBay one. I don't know what they got going on here. It's hard to say. And I'm kind of noticing some oil or whatever. I'm not sure what that is inside there. You guys can probably see it there. I don't know what that is, if it's going to be defective or what, but we're going to go ahead and try it. So let's go and give it a try. Okay, so with the new starter in, all we have left to do is put the side case back on. And another thing to note is that when you put the starter in, don't tighten the bolts in the back all the way at first, because you need it to go back through this hole in the case to line up with the gears. You tighten the bolts after the case is already on, and it's good to go. So the case is back on, the new starter is in, jumper pack's on, and we have power. So let's see how this new starter is. Seems to be working better than what the other one was. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess with it a little bit more and see if it works. Okay, so we finally got the YFZ with a new starter on it, which it did help. But now I'm noticing that we keep hearing a clicking noise back here. So it very well could be that relay. I'm not sure if something could have been wrong with it. It has a brand new starter solenoid, so it's not that. Shouldn't be, at least. But yeah, so now we're one step further to getting this thing running.